The trade deadline has come and passed, and as expected, Bradley Beal did end up on the Charlotte Hornets. The deal ended up being Kelly Oubre, Miles Bridges, James Bouknight, and 3 first-round picks for Beal. So they are likely going to be an Eastern Conference finalist, and they have a big 3 for the next couple of years, even with Clay regressing a bit. The Timberwolves ended up trading Cat to the Thunder for Kevin Love, Darius Bazley, and 5 first-round picks. It maybe feels a little underwhelming on paper, but the picks they did get were from teams who are on a downward slope, so they could look pretty good in a while. And Kevin Love expires this year, so it'll free up some money for free agency. They still have that core, so I think they are in a good spot, despite having to trade their best player. So all the trade deadline antics are done, and we are sitting at the 10 seed in what is an extremely close race in the West. We really stepped up our play directly after the trade deadline, but we have a couple of very important games coming up. We have 2 games against the Grizzlies, a game against the Kings, and the Clippers game, and the Suns game. Those 2 can have very immediate effects on our standings. With our new addition of DeJounte Murray, this Grizzlies game coming up should be a bit easier with him guarding Ja Morant. But let's see how this team looks. The first quarter was interesting because once again, it was a slugfest. And I think a huge reason for that is our horrible spacing. We only have 2 starters who shoot a respectable percentage from 3. Jalen Green and KJ, who are both above 40% and great shooters, but everyone else isn't even at league average. In fact, Christian Wood's shooting 33%, same with DeJounte Murray. And then Tice, when he's in there, shoots 34%. And now Nikola Jovic, who's getting the start tonight because Tice is out for another couple weeks. And after the game, I believe Garuba also got injured for a week or 2. But Jovic also isn't that good of a three-point shooter. He's definitely below league average. But maybe he can prove himself as a shooter in this time where he is going to get the start and he is going to get those minutes. As far as the defense goes, though, it was honestly really good. DeJounte was really good on Ja for the most part. Obviously, you're going to have moments when there's nothing he can do because Ja is just that good. But for the most part, he had him in hell. I think it's better this way having DeJounte because KPJ did an okay job on defense, but that took away from the energy he was able to put into offense. We'll get to KPJ off the bench later, but it's definitely nice to have that flexibility. It's going to take a little bit figuring out the offense with DeJounte, but the defense was nice. Allowing 23 points in the quarter was good, but we had way too many turnovers to really get anything going, only scoring an abysmal 13 points. The Grizzlies were in every single passing lane, and it felt like I couldn't even make simple passes without one getting intercepted. In the second quarter, you got to see DeJounte's defense even more. He put whoever he was on in prison, and it was awesome to see. We also started to somewhat find some success on offense. We didn't get a ton of looks, but we made the most of what few that we did. There was a stretch of a couple minutes where neither team really scored, but we did have guys who were scoreless get on the board. DeJounte managed to get himself a couple buckets in this quarter. Christian Wood wasn't scoreless, but he started picking up his play. Jovic also took advantage of a few mismatches while he was in. And really, that was the main thing that erased our deficit and gave us whatever lead that we could get. We ran way more pick and roll and just exploited mismatches. Christian did it, Şengün did it, Jovic did it. It might be a slow brand of basketball to play, but with our horrible spacing and lack of shot creation outside of a couple of guys, it's really where we're going to find our most consistent offense. And coming out of halftime, we really just ramped things up. We were crashing the offensive glass, hitting steals and fast break opportunities. And instead of running a bunch of plays that don't work, we went back to pick and roll. Because of that and taking advantage of mismatches, we were able to actually get out to a sizable lead. I mean, we held a lead that was double digits. When is the last time that you saw that? Probably never. But after both teams going scoreless for a few minutes, we went on another little run. So I decided to sim to the end, and we did win. Only allowed like 85 points too, and in the third quarter we allowed 8. All in all, it's definitely going to be a feeling out process, but I really do think we have the potential to be in that playoff race. Our injuries to Tice and Garuba definitely hurt, and if KJ goes down again, then that might be it for us. We're running pretty thin despite having a roster full of guys that we want to play. I'm cautiously optimistic with the upcoming schedule, but I really do think we've got a shot here to make it to the playoffs. And despite having a roster full of guys we want to play, we don't have a whole lot of experienced NBA veterans. This offseason, we'll look to remedy that, and maybe we can come back next year and really make a push to be out of that play-in tournament. Either way, I do like the direction that this team is going. We still have picks from Brooklyn. We have ammo to make trades. So the future's looking bright in Houston, and DeJounte Murray and Jalen Green are going to take us there.